For today's video, we are going to create this beveled letter D in script. We will use the Bevel letters, Procreate brushes, and stamps. Bevels look technical and complicated, but if you follow this step-by-step tutorial and create with me, you can easily create one yourself. So follow along and let's go. So step number 1, we are going to draw our letter using one of the inline brushes of my Beveled Procreate pack. So let's open the brush set, and then we could choose either round if you want something mono weight, or this brush if we want something that has thick and thins. So let's use the brush inline light brush and start drawing our letter D. Yeah, kind of like this. So let's stick to this one. Step number 2, we're going to extract the inline and the letter form. So we are going to duplicate this layer twice, hide both of them, use selection tool on automatic. We're going to select everything except for the black inline. So let's select these gray and the background. These are not yet selected. Once we've selected everything, we are going to clear everything except for the inline. So we're going to use 3 fingers on a circular motion to erase everything except for the inline. Next is, let's hide that layer. We're going to turn this into our base letter form. So we're also going to use the selection tool on automatic. We're going to select the outside, everything on the outside to 0% threshold, and then invert color fill. Done. Let us bring back the inline but invert it so that we can see it. Okay, so let's now clean the inline. We want to avoid like weird curves like that, so we're going to use our eraser and just shorten it. Okay, yeah, this, I think it looks perfect. For this one, we want to avoid loops like that, so let's just erase that part to simplify our bevel inline. Okay, perfect. Now to our base letter, let's clean this up a little bit. So for this one, it has this weird thing over there, so let's clean that up. Okay. For this one, let's create something similar to the letter C with sharp tips. Step number 3 is we're going to add a 3D effect and a cast shadow. So we're going to duplicate our base layer. I'm going to add motion blur to it. Drag your pencil to the lower left at about 45 degrees. And then we're going to use selection to fill this entire shade or shadow that was created. So we're going to select the outside to 0% threshold, the inside as well. Then invert and color fill is already on. Okay, let's change the brightness under hue so that we can see it. Now let's position it correctly. Okay. Yeah, I think this looks correct. Next is we're going to add a cast shadow. So we're going to duplicate the base layer again, bring it down, add motion blur again, but now to the lower left. When we're done, we're going to do the same thing, turn it completely black. So using selection, automatic, color fill turned on, select everything that's outside and invert, just like that. And then let's reduce the opacity, bring it about 70%, okay. And now let's adjust it to the right position. Okay, I think this looks good. So let's just bring this up a bit, just a little bit. Step number 4 is to add the bevel guides. So we're gonna open a new layer. We're gonna use the pen tool, the first brush of the brush set. Let's choose a different color like yellow, and then let's start dividing the light. Okay, maybe here. If you have an intersection, most likely you'll need to add a division from there to like the corner or the edge. This one is a triangle here. This has to connect there, a little bit here. Okay, now that our guides are done, let's reduce the opacity till it's barely visible. Okay. Step number 5. So the inline splits the letter into 2 sides. Like this is the inline, there's the left side and the right side. To make coloring and blending the bevels easier, we're going to separate those sides in different layers. Here's how you do it. We're gonna connect the ends. Oh, before that, let's duplicate the inline layer first. We need that to be untouched later. So we're gonna connect these 2 ends together and then color the inside like that. It still has that white line, so let's remove that by clicking alpha lock and fill layer. Now you only have yellow, but it looks super messy, so let's clean this up and remove the excess parts which are not part of the letter D. So to do that, make sure the yellow layer is highlighted, and then we're going to use 2 fingers to hold or press down our base layer to select it, and then hit invert, and using 3 finger circular motion, we're going to clear it. Now we have like a clean yellow layer. So just to check this real quick, so all the parts of our letters will have the different sides in separate layers. Okay, one is in yellow, the other one's in black, one's in yellow, other one's in black. Perfect. Now step number 6, we're going to start drawing the beveled ends. So these 2 tips are pointed tips, so we don't have to add like a triangle in that area. So we need to add one here at that end. So let's turn on the inline so that we have a clearer guide. So since we're going to add a triangle, let's open up a new layer and add a color, but we still haven't picked our colors. So let's add a new layer on top, pick our color, maybe blue. Let's try blue. And then using the 4 color shade stamps, let's stamp randomly on our canvas, and now we have our color guide. So this will be our cheat sheet. So the lightest to the darkest colors are already here in just one stamp. You don't have to create your own palette, it's already there, and you have this guide right here on the side, so that if you forgot or if you're not sure on what to color the side, for example, for the left side, you don't know what to color, so you could just color pick from here. This is facing left, so it's this color. Yeah. So now let's color the triangle. Let's go back to our pen tool, and on the new layer we created right above or right below our inline. So this one, this needs like a triangle, so it is facing to the left. We're gonna pick the color for the left and draw a triangle. Make sure you hold it so you can edit shape and move it to the right position, which is from the ends of the inline to the corners of the letter like that. Fill layer, and we are done. Okay, for this letter, we only have one, so let's clean this up by using 2 fingers. We're gonna hold down our base layer, which is this black layer, down, invert, and then erase. So now it's cut to the right size. Now to step number 7, which is to color the bevel faces. So let's start coloring. Make sure to turn on alpha lock on these 2 layers, the black layer and the yellow layer. Let's start with the yellow layer since it is already selected. So this part is supposed to be the darkest color because it's facing down. So let's color pick this one and start coloring. I usually use a round eraser. Oops. The round eraser because it's bigger and I get to color faster. Now to this side, this is facing to the right, so it's this color. Okay, we're gonna start from the guideline we created earlier and color everything. Okay, this one is facing left, so it's this color. Okay. Make sure we start at the corner and end at the corner to do this correctly. Okay. Now for this one, this is facing to the right, which is this color. So let's just color pick that and color like that. This one is facing down, so let's color pick the darkest color and start coloring. But if we color like this, it's gonna affect that area since they are from the same layer that's been alpha locked. So let's use selection on freehand and then let's just select this area down here. Now when we start brushing the colors, it won't affect the one on top. So corner to corner. Good. Okay. Next is this part is facing up, so we need the lightest color picking that. And then start here from this point to that point. Done. Let's color this entire thing up to here. Because this one is facing the left, so let's color pick this and color this. Okay, we're done coloring the yellow layer. Now to the black layer. Let's select that and start coloring. This is facing up, so it's the lightest color, this one. Let's color the entire top. It's okay to go over the line since it's just the first color. So this one's facing left, so let's color pick this color and color it. Okay, so this one's facing right, so it's this color. Oops, I need to fix that. Be more careful when coloring. Alright, next is this one is facing up, so it's this color. There. And this one is facing left, so it's this color. Okay. Let's add some darkest color here too, so that we can have like a separation of layers. And then let's color this now. Since it's gonna affect the other side as well, we're gonna use selection and just select this area. So when we add this, it's not gonna color the other side. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. For the triangle, it's supposed to be the darkest color. So let's go ahead and recolor that. Color pick. This is a triangle, alpha lock, and fill layer. All right, now it's correct. So let's go back to the black layer and color this again. Facing left, facing right, so it's this color, just up to here. Oops. This one's facing down, so we're gonna go back to the darkest color. And oops, make sure you don't color the other parts accidentally. Color. Now for the last one. No, yeah, it's the last one. This is right. So I'm gonna choose this color. Color this all the way up. Just like that. We're now finished in coloring the beveled faces. So the next step is we're going to add a background color and a 3D, we're gonna color the background and the 3D effect. So for the background, I'm gonna choose a dark blue. So I think this will do. But let's darken the cast shadow first because it's no longer visible. Yeah, maybe 50%. This is better. You can see it, right? Now we're going to color the 3D effect. Let's remove the yellow guides because it looks messy to me. Okay, now to color the 3D effect, we're going to put on alpha lock, pick a darker blue color. Let's color pick the darkest blue. So we have a point of reference to use something maybe darker, slightly darker than that. And then fill layer. Okay. I feel like it's a bit too dark, so let me just increase the hue or the brightness just a little bit. Perfect. All right, let's now add some shadows to this. So on a new layer above it, clipping mask and the color black using the round eraser. So all three faces facing down, we're gonna add the black shadow. So here for this one. Darkening. This one. This entire area. This one we can maybe we could add a little bit here, just a little bit. And then here. From this corner all the way to the end. Let's erase this. Okay, I think that's it. You can now blend these because it's on a curved part of the letter. So let's blend this so that it's not too sharp like this. So we're using the smudge tool with smooth blender on, and just lightly blending these to make it not too harsh. And after that, we can now reduce the opacity. Maybe change overlay, reduce the opacity so that it's not too dark. Okay, I think this is about right. Let's clean this up. So we're gonna use 2 fingers to select the 3D effect. Hit invert and erase, just to clean it up. Now let us blend the beveled faces. So we're gonna select those layers and using the smudge tool too, we're just gonna blend those 2 colors. We're done, so let's switch to the other layer and blend the other side. Like this, you now have a smoother transition of colors. And zoom this in. Just get this part. All right, let's remove this. So let's hide that layer. I think we're good. So let's turn on clipping mask. everything. And now, step number 9, we're going to add green and texture. So let's open a new layer just below the inline using white and the green, maybe fine green, and just add green to the entire letter. Just give it some texture. And then let's choose overlay and lower the opacity. 35 seems okay. You can also choose to lighten the inline a little bit if you don't want that super harsh white inline. Okay, maybe 70%. Okay. Now let's add some texture. So we're going to add a new layer above the inline. Choose black and then pick a texture and fill the entire page. Okay. And then let's just adjust the opacity. Maybe to 60. And let's make the background slightly lighter. My neighbor is hammering something again, so I better wrap up. Okay, what's next? Oh, we are actually finished, but if you want to adjust the contrast, I always adjust the contrast, so let's do that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hide the texture layer first, the cast shadow, and the background. And then I'm going to copy the canvas and paste it so that I have this exact same letter in just one layer without changing or without merging the previous layers that we created. Okay, well, you have it here, so let's bring it down. Okay, and open all the layers again. Well, the layers that we hit earlier. And then we're gonna change the curves. Bring this down, bring this up. There. The before and the after. And we are done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you were able to create a beautiful bevel letter D2. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. The brushes we use are from this brush pack, the Bevel Letters, Procreate brushes and stamps. I'll leave the link in the description where you can get the pack. More tutorial videos are coming, so like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.